I am on a quest to slaughter the gods. That's right, Pounderman. He takes on all challengers and makes them submit. Anyway, I started out as a tarnished, which is equivalent to a peasant, and I hate peasants. I was approached by a pale woman in a cloak. She gave me her horse, Torrent, and stroked my ego throughout my journey.
You will become Elden Lord.
She told me to make my way to Stormveil Castle, but I was stopped by and he called me a peasant.
Foul tarnished.
Let's just say my bloodlust began here. I made it to Stormveil Castle. One of the prisoners advised me to take the long way around, but I charged my way into that castle to assert my authority. I found Godfrey. He bled himself to death after that. I moved on to the academy, where I felt too welcome there. Renala introduced herself by trying to kill me. I made sure she learned her manners, and she submitted to me. After that, I went to make her daughter submit, Rainy. She actually introduced me to my new best friend, Blide.
I was waiting for you.
I made it to the Atlas Plateau, where I was greeted with sunshine and arrows. I figured it would be a little tough getting into the royal capital, but the tree sentinel guarding it made me realize there is always another way. I summoned an ally to distract him. After making it past the guard, I made it inside, and my maiden left me. I didn't need her to make it to Morgoth, who was standing in the way of my throne. The good news was, he revealed who my next targets were. I killed him. Then I realized my throne chair was a fake. My maiden, Malenia, told me that she could burn down the erdtree for me, but we had to take a trip to the mountains. Before I went there, Blide invited me to the festival of Retelling, and how could I refuse him and a chance to kill a demigod? All of the warriors joined me on the battlefield, even Patches, who I spared.
I surrender. White flag and all.
He went AWOL immediately after we started fighting, but I did put down the rabid demigod. The mountaintop of the giants was a snow haven for the fire giant. I don't know why those giant enemies kept amputating themselves in front of me, but it made my job easier. I moved on to the giant bowl, where Malenia burned the erdtree. She sacrificed herself, but made me maidenless. Next on my list, I had to go to the Volcano manor to put down that snake, Rykard. I was forced to kill the other tarnished in the world to see him, which was an added bonus for me because I didn't need any competition for the throne. I completed all of the bounties and I got to face Rykard, who actually turned out to be a giant snake. I used the power of the air to dethrone the Serpent King. I made it to the erdtree again, where I had to fight the real Godfrey this time. He told me he was a tarnished. I almost felt bad for fighting him, but he believed in animal cruelty. I went into the erdtree to finally claim my throne. But Radagon was in a room and he was not happy I sent his wolf to Pound Town. Radagon was a worthy opponent to feed my bloodlust. Elden Beast, on the other hand, was miserable. After chasing it around for 20 minutes, I finally put it down. I summoned Rainy, who was a demigod that I swore to eliminate. However, she gave me a powerful weapon and helped me get my mimic tier on my journey, so I took her hand and we took the throne together. There was one more loose end on my journey, and her name was
Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
I heard many rumors that she was a monster, but I found that very hard to believe. And then we started exchanging blows. And that made me realize she really was a monster. I had to use my best assassin, and then I used my own clone on her. After putting her down, she pulled the dirtiest trick in the book and transformed. So I pulled out my own dirty little trick. I summoned a couple of other tarnished to finish her off. With Malenia out of my way, I was proud to call myself an Elden Lord. I wasn't going to help the people of the land, but I would go around asserting my authority across the land until I was called to action by a mysterious force For those of you wondering about Blide, I had to put him down because he was gonna sabotage my plans of becoming Elden Lord. Plus, his armor was way too fashionable to pass up.